Hello, this is daviddean, and I hope you're having fun with the new hero update. I know some people are a little upset with it, but I gotta admit, the more I use it, the more I enjoy it. But the videos I've been putting out, the number one question I'm getting about is team perks. And I gotta admit, some of this was very difficult to figure out, so I just took an hour or two and created a spreadsheet that shows me where everything came from. Because you go over here like supercharged perks or supercharged traps, it does not tell you where this came from. What mythic hero unlocked it, or is it from a quest, or is this one of the ones you get when you first start the game? So I went ahead and went through and just made a spreadsheet. And for this, I'm not sure how well you can read it on there. I am going to put this on my Twitter account, which is at daviddean68. I'm also going to try to put it up over on the Fortnite Reddit, so everybody will have access to this. But yes, I go through all the different team perks, list what hero they came from, or what if they came from a quest. Also, I discovered, because I found 4 that did not belong to any hero, but they were one of each hero type. So there was a perk that was for constructors, a perk for Outlanders, perk for ninja, and perk for soldier. And it looked like that was part, or each one of those came from a quest early in the game. Don't know that for sure. Need to go back and test it, but the only way I can do that is by rebuying the game and going through it all. So, if you're early in the game and you notice you unlock these at a certain point, please let me know. Also notice there was 2 heroes that used to be legendary heroes and then made mythic with this recent update. Steel Wool Carlos and Anthony, and they do not seem to have any perks assigned to them for the team perk. But yes, I will be trying to make this available to everybody. But getting back into here, just because it's a lot easier on the eyes. Going through these, basically, you have 4 heroes when you first come into the game. Actually, I'm going to go back over here. Get me into heroes. I just want to show you really quick all the different mythics. These are all the mythics you can currently get in the game. And there is 18 of them. And hopefully I got them all. If I did miss any, please let me know. But of these, there are 4 that are available when you first get Save the World. And collection book up here with your standard heroes. There's 1 for soldier, 1 for constructor. Actually, I should be going through like 1 soldier here. MGR, she gives the cool customer ability. Using an ability while Frosty lowers the cooldown of all active soldier abilities and removes the Frosty effect. If you don't know what Frosty is, that's part of the main powers of soldiers. I'll show it in a bit. Then you have Mega Base Kyle. He gives you supercharged traps, which I think is just an awesome ability if you like constructors and trap tunnels, which I do. Increases damage by all traps within the base. For ninja, you have Swordmaster Ken, and he gives you 1-2 punch. After ability casts, next heavy melee costs 20% less per match, which doesn't seem like that great of an ability. And then Outlanders, you got Phase Scout Jess, and she gives Shifting Gears. Grants extra charges on phase shifts, but reduces range. So those are the ones you get just from playing or getting the game. And then it seemed like, as I said before, there was 4 quest ones. I will show those later. And then going down, the other ones come from event people, which currently you can pull out. And then you got expansion people. Were any in there? I guess none in there. So all of them currently from event people besides the ones I mentioned. But I wanted to go through and tell you the ones that I think are really useful and what I recommend, and the ones I'm not that impressed. And of course, give me your feedback whether you think I'm right or wrong. Also, things like this. I haven't tested out all the other ones, but I did test out this one. increases damage of traps affected by base by 8.5%. What it doesn't say in here is that increases times 5 for every constructor you have in here. Or I guess for each constructor, increases damage of traps affected by base. I skip the first sentence every time I read it. But when I went and actually tested this out, and I did, I went in with 0 constructors in here, tested out my traps, then I went in with 1 constructor. It did not go up by 8.5%. It went up by 6%. Now, the reason for that could be a lot of things. It's not including my increased trap damage from the Survivor Squad as part of that bonus, or it's not including the perk ups to that bonus. Don't know. That would take days of testing to figure out exactly sometimes. But I do know as I went through all the way down, at the end of the day, with all this loaded up with 5 constructors, I got 30% increase total damage to traps, which just happens to be the same amount of trap damage that used to be increased when you did Machinist Thora or Machinist Harper. So just to let you know, the numbers are sometimes a little bit off, but that is because they don't take everything into account. But yes, for constructors, for people who like trap building, it is absolutely a great one to have. Hot Swap, this comes from Quick Draw Calamity, which got from the Wild West event. And weapon eliminations increase weapon damage by 13% for 15 seconds. Each weapon type can only apply 1 stack of this effect. Alright, it sounds in the beginning really good because that's a huge increase of damage, but you have to remember you can, requires 1 hero from each class. So you have to put in your build 1 constructor, 1 ninja, 1 soldier, and 1 outlander, which is really tough to do a good build like that. And then for the stacking of this, you need to rotate your weapons if you want to get it higher. So you do a shot by a pistol, it increases 13. If you do a shot by a shotgun, now you're up to 26. Do an assault rifle, now you're 39. Now you got to go in your inventory, load up a sniper rifle, and then you can get it up to 52% weapon damage. So it's kind of hard to finagle this thing into an actual build and use it. So, but if you want to try, please do. Faze Blaster. This is from Field Agent Rio from the Road Trip event. And every 5 seconds, your next shot will fire a phase pulse, which deals 47 base energy damage. Need at least 2 Outlanders. And this one, it's really good. I've used it quite a bit for when I am using my Outlander, mainly when I was doing the sniper build, so that I could get some more damage on it, on that first shot. And let's see, every 5 seconds. If you notice my gameplay, I don't go around spamming my weapon all the time. I let my traps and abilities do a lot of the killing. So there's a lot of times where I don't even shoot every 5 seconds. So this works out good for me. If you are somebody who's constantly spraying gunfire, I would definitely not recommend it. Alright, Bioenergy Source. Bioenergy Source comes from Lynx from the Holiday Heroes, and I believe she's currently still in the store. I'll read it here. And that's one thing. I'm using in my spreadsheet the information that Epic put out in their spreadsheet, which looks a little bit different than here. But yes, for each hero with 3 or more stars, recover shield equal to 1/4 of the energy loss. So if you use your ability, you lose energy, your shield recovers faster. Little strange. To be truth, it's not one I'm going to be using all too much. So let's head down to Hunter Instinct. This one's kind of polarized some people. With Hunter's Instinct, this is easy. It comes from Dyer from Fort Nightmares. But for each hero of epic or higher rarity with at least 4 stars, eliminations during evening or night grant 24% damage and a 0.08 melee life leech, up to 40 stacks. These bonuses last until night ends. And I didn't realize it. Somebody posted that, like, evacuate the shelter. That always starts in the evening and goes through the night. So if you're doing evacuate the shelter, you know you're going to be able to use this ability to its full extent when you're defending the shelter. Now, in other cases, you don't know when you're going to be defending the objective. I'm not sure how it would work in Storm Shield defenses. But yes, you can get some massive damage out of this, but it's limited to what time of day it is in the game. Shake It Off. This is Sub-Zero Zenith from the Holiday Heroes. Decreases duration of elemental status effects by 50%. Requires 2 heroes with 4 or more stars. And this, I had a few questions. This is when you get hit by a husk that is of an elemental type. So if you get hit by a fire husk, you get that fire damage over time. Well, this cuts that in half. If you get hit by a water husk, you get slowed for a time period. That gets cut in half. And if you get hit by a nature husk, your energy gets drained. And that energy drain over time gets cut in half. This one's actually fairly decent if you're going to be a ninja, or if you are any hero that specializes in melee damage, and you're going to be in the middle of the battle. And one of the big things I've noticed using my ninja, and even when I went in with a constructor to try out kinetic energy or kinetic overload build, is that the elemental husk, nature, if they get 2 or 3 hits on me, all abilities gone. So this would be great against that. Slow your roll. This is Ragnarok from the road trip. Freeze melee attackers for 2 seconds. Mist monsters are slowed by 43. Requires 3 heroes with 3 or more stars. This one I love. I use this all the time now. If I'm not using a constructor with the trap tunnel. But if I'm running around with my teddy bear build, and I love it because I'll be attacking. I won't be focusing on the little red dots on the mini map. And suddenly I'm getting attacked from behind, and everything that touches me is frozen for 2 seconds. So giving me plenty of time to hit that phase shift and get out of there. So it is really cool, and there's other heroes that specialize in doing damage to husks that are frozen, so that can add on to there. Preemptive Strike. For Preemptive Strike, let's see, that is from Raven from the Blockbuster event. For each hero or epic of higher rarity with at least 4 stars, increases damage by 6.5% against full health enemies. This is another great one for people who use slow firing high damage weapons. I love my Super Shredder. I can get pretty well one-shot kills on anything less than a Husky Husk. And so I'm doing my first shot to kill an enemy, and it's doing 6.5% more damage. Usually I one-shot it, that one's killed, I move on, hit the next one. So I'm getting this bonus all the time. Of course, this isn't very helpful when you got a smasher or something with really high hit points. But on average, I'm using this a lot during a match. 1-2 punch. The 1-2 punch, Swordmaster Ken. He's one of your standard heroes I mentioned. Your next heavy attack after using ability costs 20% less energy. One thing, I saw a lot of people doing this for their gathering build. Using Archaeologist Jess. I know those are supposed to be 2 words combined, but yeah. Anyway, trying to use this to use less energy with the anti-material charge, but it doesn't seem to be working on that. So the way the game now sees anti-material charge, it's kind of in a gray area between an ability and a heavy attack, so something like this has no effect. Alright, Boom Bass. Bass deals steel wool music, increasing damage by 12% and critical rating by 15 for allies within 5 tiles. And let's see, Boom Bass is by Steel Wool Sid. part of the Canny Valley quest line. And this one's actually pretty good. First of all, you get a rock concert while this is placed down. When your constructor places your base, the base will have speakers all the way around it, and it's just pumping out music non-stop. A few people have said they've had it where it stopped after like 20 seconds or stuff, but I've had it last much longer. I would like to test this out to see if it affects defenders. Unfortunately, when defenders shoot the husk, you see no damage number. So it's kind of hard to test it. So I will work on that, hopefully figure that out for you. But yes, your heroes, if you're a defending objective, you're all standing there and you're all putting out more damage. I also want to see if it affects abilities. If you got your base down and you throw down Rosie and you're shooting with it, I need to find out if this increase applies to it as well. Because some people love building with trap tunnels, in which case you'd probably be better off with supercharged traps. Other people just like putting up a defensive build, and then they go out and do the shooting and do the killing, in which case this would be your better base. Recycling. This seems to be something as part of a early quest. Doesn't seem tied to a hero. You get recycling. Base generate resources based on affected structures. I haven't gone in to see if other people can still steal from your base or not. Higher tier structures generate more resources. Interact with the base to collect. Requires 2 constructors. In truth, I can hardly see this ever getting used now. Compared to either boom base or to supercharged traps, it's just not that great of a one, in my opinion. But then again, you get it evidently through a quest, so no worries. Underdog. Underdog, that is Carbide from the Blockbuster event. For each hero or epic of higher rarity, increase healing received by 2.5% for each nearby enemy. Yeah, healing isn't that big of a deal in the game. Usually everybody's running around, so they're not being able to use this. And usually, like me with my adrenaline rush, that's enough pretty much to heal me all the way up as is. So I can't really be recommending that much. Man, I love my Carbide. That was one of my absolute favorite heroes in the game, but not so much anymore. But then again, there's other ones that I used to not like, and now they're awesome. So Soaring Mantis, it is Wukong. I got asked this a lot because I didn't put it in the video when I did my ninja build. But yeah, Wukong from the Chinese New Year. You get Mantis Leap, allows you 2 additional jumps, and requires 3 ninjas. This is actually a lot of fun, being able to just jump around the map. And I also put out a video where if you have the Spectral Blade doing that heavy attack, you can just fly around the total map and never touch the ground. One thing, I meant to mention this earlier. I put out a video before about the Spectral Blade and about the Founder's Revolt, where the Founder Revolt does headshots that would add to Headshot Jess's ability to get recharges on her fragments. That ain't happening anymore. Evidently, Epic did not like that, and they took that out as fast as I said it, which makes me feel bad for saying it. Alright, Endless Shadow. This is Bladestorm Enforcer from Road Trip, and for each ninja with 3 or more stars, increases Shadow Stance duration by 4 seconds. There is a lot of really good ninja team perks. This is a good one as it is, but I just feel there is better ones out there. Alright, Dimmock, as I was saying. This is the one. This is actually from a quest, evidently early on in the game. So, for each ninja, Shadow Stance regenerates 2.7% shield per second. People have been having a blast with this because the shield just keeps regenerating. With Shadow Stance, you get Shadow Stance every time you're killing something. So, yeah, much more survivable for the ninjas with this perk. I would definitely recommend it. Shifting Gears. This is from Faze Scout Jess, who is one of your standard mythics from the game. For each Outlander or Epic of higher rarity, Phase Shift has 1 additional charge in range and decreased by 0.2 tiles. I use my Phase Shift to get away from Husk or to get somewhere faster, so I really don't want this power. To me, this is a huge negative. So, nah, I would say pass on that. For Keep Out, I immediately assumed this was from MGR, but no, evidently it's from one of those early quests, not from a mythic hero. For soldiers, for each soldier, Frag Grenade leaves an energized area dealing 12 base energy damage per second for 6 seconds. Base radius is 0.375 tiles and increases by 40% with each match. This is huge. I love, if you got a grenade build, this is just tons of damage, and all those low hit point husks just get eaten up in a heartbeat. So definitely recommend Keep Out. Oh, hopped over Cool Customer. Cool Customer is from MGR and one of the standard heroes. And this one, with Stay Frosty active, using an ability reduces cooldown of all abilities by 3 seconds and ends Stay Frosty. For those people who don't play Soldier all the time like myself, let's hop over here. Soldier and Stay Frosty right here. After 3 eliminations, increases range weapon damage by 10% and weapon stability by 35%. But yes, you kill 3 husks and you get Stay Frosty going on your soldier, and that is what they're talking about on that particular team. All right, Cool Customer there. So when it's active, which all you gotta do is kill 3 husks to get it going, uses an ability, reduces cooldown of all abilities by 3 seconds, which is actually kind of nice, but it's not great. So no. Long Arm of the Law increases anti-material charge range by 1 tile, requires 2 Outlanders. Somebody was saying that it was actually just a half a tile when they tested it. I haven't tested it out yet. Either way, it's an okay addition. To me, it's not that great. Usually, if I'm gathering, I'm getting up close enough to take out what I want, and usually there isn't all that much lined up in a row. So not worried too much about the Long Arm of the Law, and that is another quest one. And then finally, we get down to Round Trip. This is from the Cloak Star from the Blockbuster event. Throwing stars return to you, dealing their damage again on the way back. Some people have put up some awesome throwing star builds, and if you do your entire build on throwing stars, this is a great one to have. Also, most of the other ones that are good for ninjas are if your ninja is focused on melee attacks, not range attacks. So if you're focusing on range attacks with your ninja, this thing is a great one to have. And once again, that's by the Cloak Star. So there you go. I hope this helps. If nothing else, going back to the spreadsheet, got everything listed. Hopefully you can do a screen capture or print it out from my Twitter or from Reddit, and you will have all this nice, easy, able to do to help you have a little bit more fun with this update. So take care and have a great day.